and I ain't got nowhere to be. Ain't nobody waiting at home for me, and there's nothing lonelier than midnight at the movies again.
Tusk local music here with Nashville's Townes Earle. He's playing here at the Alys Stevens Center in Birmingham tonight. Caught up with him backstage after the show. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
We've been listening to you for a while in Tuscaloosa. Real impressed with what you've done so far. I know a lot of our listeners and our viewers are big Steve Earle fans. We're trying to bring them around, and they saw you on Treme recently. Can you talk about that experience? I know your father knows makers of Treme and The Wire, and how you got involved with that.
I think it was just a chance. They needed a tall, skinny young guy to look like a derelict, and I guess that was perfect for it.
And I know your dad was on The Wire too as Waylon, right?
Waylon,
yeah. That was a great character, a great monologue he had. Was he friends with the filmmakers before that?
I'm not really sure. I know that the I can never remember his name, but the guy who writes all the episodes uses a lot of his lyrics in the episodes of The Wire, right. And so I think he was just a big fan, wanted to get him involved. And I think Treme was him. He wanted to do something with music, that involved music, wanted to be able to bring in all his favorite musicians and get them involved in a show. And so I think that Treme is kind of like his it's what he's wanted to do for a really long time. Yeah.
Now, do you personally have any connection to New Orleans?
No, I don't. I got some. I think I have a meth addict cousin there somewhere, but nothing real.
When you're lonesome, where do you go when you're blue?
Now, you're originally from Nashville. You grew up there, obviously, and now you're in New York. Tell us about how you kind of came. I know you played with your dad for a while. You've gone through a pretty big adventure to get where you are right now. Can you just talk about from then to now, kind of your journey?
Oh, I don't even know what happened. I mean, it's been like a flash. I don't even remember yesterday. But it was, I started playing when I was playing professionally when I was 14 years old. Quit school, and made it my life. I'm a better musician than I am a dope dealer, thank God. And I just started. And it's just kind of been like a flash the last 14 years. I don't know what in the hell happened.
Now, Nashville, when you go back there, that's your home base, obviously, but what's your favorite place to play in the country? Is it the home base in Nashville? That's where I saw you the first time with the Fleece Brothers, and great show on the Cumberland River down there.
Oh, yeah.
But talk about kind of your favorite places to play, especially since Nashville's been flooded recently with the Ryman underwater and all that. I'm not sure how that's gone, but...
Well, playing in your hometown is always pretty terrible. Just because I love my hometown, but it's just everybody thinks that they deserve to be on the guest list, and your dressing room's always packed with a bunch of idiots. But I think one of my favorite towns to play. I love Portland, Oregon. I always have a really great time in that town. Just really, really nice and relaxed, and they got really good strip clubs.
Now talk about this new album that you got going. Heard the song out there. You said it's a little bit of gospel influence in it.
Yeah.
Talk about where that comes from and how you just finished recording. It's supposed to be mixed soon.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
It's good. It's going to be called the Harlem River Blues, and it's just kind of I don't ever like to make the same record twice. I've made sure that we make jumps every time we make a record. And we've kind of stuck to a cracker form of Southern music, on the last two records, And I think that this time we're kind of leaning more toward Memphis than we are, North Carolina or Eastern Tennessee, and getting a little more soul involved in it. Because I've always when people ask me what I would call my music, I don't know what to call it, but I know that I am a Southern music preservationist, and that's what I try to do.
What was when you go back to what made you want to be a musician? I always think Hank Sr. When I look at you, when I hear you, what would you say it is?
Made me want to be a musician? Girls. I think that's the reason that people would say what they want, but it's like, musicians get the girls. So it's like it's girls and drugs and you know, wild nights and stuff like that made me want to do it. But then I think that, you know, the first time I realized that it's what I was convinced that it's what I wanted to do was, you know, when I discovered Woody Guthrie and when I discovered Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee, you know, people like that, Big Bill Broomsey, you know, things like that. That's the stuff that really spoke to me because I was a typical, you know, kid of my age. You know, I played in several like horrid punk bands, and you know, wore the cardigan and the ripped jeans and the Converse and all that stuff. You know, and luckily grew out of it.
Well, speaking of your style, you're good friends with Billy Reed in Florence, Alabama. We cover him. We try to keep tabs on that guy. He's doing great things. He was just announced as GQ Men's Designer of the Year. What's y'all's relationship like? I've seen photos on the internet of you two. I know y'all mingle together. What's your relationship with Billy?
Well, we're really good friends. I mean, we met through, you know, I tend to, you know, I act out and I dress loud on stage, and it was a good combination because I'm not scared of all the patterned jackets and patterned shirts and bow ties and stuff that he makes. And then
or back to those old country musicians.
Yeah. But you know, even further, like getting like Jimmy Rogers on it, you know. And that's the thing is that I think that me and Billy, you know, figured out really shortly after he started, you know, helping me out with clothes that we got along really well. And it's probably pretty dangerous when we hang out together.
I always thought that it would be awesome if Billy would make someone a nudie suit. And I would immediately nominate you. I think that'd be awesome. I'm a big Burritos fan.
Oh well, I bet he'd do a damn fine job.
Oh yeah, I bet. So, what are some things you're listening to nowadays? What are some bands?
You know, I've been listening to a lot of M. Ward recently. That's been kind of the running theme going around right now. Don Covey rocks. I mean, rocks like a yeah. I can't say that.
We got bleeps.
Okay, like a mother. And quit laughing. And you know, I try to like. I've just recently started listening to new music. I was one of those old timey assholes, you know, that listened to like nothing but old time music and, you know, old blues, old, you know, and all that stuff. And so I'm trying to, you know, be a little more open minded these days, and I actually find that I like it.
Speaking of that old music and back to the new album, what were some things you've been listening to in the studio? Like I've been listening to the Louvins. I've been going back to that old stuff a lot lately, listening to the Louvin brothers and things like that. What are some things that have been inspiring this record? And by the way, promo your record, the name of it, when it's going to be out? Yeah,
it's good. Well, we don't know exactly when it's going to be out, but it's going to be called the Harlem River Blues, and it's going to be out sometime in September. And you know, I wasn't listening to anything in particular that made me want to make, you know, this record the way that I did. I mean, M. Ward's production made me like lean to like that's how I wanted to gave me my inspiration for the sounds that we captured. And, you know, what I told my engineer to, you know, kind of shoot for, but you know, it's just something that's. I mean, I'm a Southern man, you know, and I'm from half from Texas, half from Tennessee, and you know, there's a lot of you just grow up with gospel. You grow up with all that. You grow up with gospel. You grow up with R&B. You grow up with. I mean, there's a lot of soul in all Southern music. I mean, Southern people invented all popular forms of music. Country music out of Nashville. You got string music out of North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee. Bluegrass out of Kentucky. You got jazz down in New Orleans. Right, blues in the Delta, you know, and kind of all around the South, and then it all slides into Memphis, and it becomes rock and roll.
Now what?